So it's boundaries this week, but before we get into boundaries, I want to talk a little bit about time management because how we spend our time is kind of a boundary we hold with ourselves, right? And with time management tips, you can really create more time for yourself, cut out some of your energy suckers that may be in your life, and also prioritize the things that really matter to you to actually get things done, to accomplish things. So it also helps to prevent burnout when you do this because you're saving your energy. So time management can be very effective. There's a couple reasons that women specifically struggle with time management. We're more likely to overcommit ourselves. We're more likely to say yes to things. I think there's a couple reasons for this. The first is that good girl culture that is ingrained in us to be pleasant, kind, and easy. The next is that I think when we commit to things and take on responsibilities, we see ourselves as our highest energy self, right? Of course, if I'm going to feel like that every day, I can take on tons of stuff. And the truth is we just don't wake up like that every day. If I'm lucky, that's a couple days during my cycle. So, we're very likely to overcommit ourselves. Some other struggles for us, it's just that as women, we wear a lot of hats. We are a lot of things to a lot of people. We work full time, mothers, sisters, friends. We have commitments, volunteer opportunities. I mean, all kinds of things that we do. And that's a lot to juggle. So time management can really come into play here too. We're very prone to guilt and shame ourselves. And guilt and shame do nothing for us but overwhelm and shut us down or make us overreact to things. So it's important to give ourselves grace, to be gentle with ourselves, to accept that our best is our best, and to honor the fact that we don't have the same energy every day. So that in mind, another thing is just that life is unpredictable and things come up, right? And if we're these women committed to a lot of tasks, wearing a lot of hats, each one of those hats that we wear and commitments has the potential for just life to happen, right? Natural disasters, stress, good things, opportunities, which throw a wrench in all of that. So time management can be super useful. I've attached a bunch of articles onto here that you can dive deeper in, but I wanted to cover three main things. Basically, there's an article about the 13 habits of high-functioning women. I wanted to share those with you. Not in an effort to say you all need to be high-functioning women, but that maybe some of these things could help you create more time and energy and space in your day if time management is something you struggle with. There's also some hacks on there for women with ADHD or for people with ADHD, which I loved. And then just wanted to share some of the keys at the end that really stood out to me. So let's start with the 13 habits of high-functioning women. The first is that they go into each day with a plan. They know ahead of time what their priorities are, what they want to get done, what's bumpable, what's not. Personally, some women may do that. I have a friend, she gets up every morning, plans out her day, takes out her Panda planner and does her thing. I do this on probably twice a week on a 3 to 4 day gap because I work shift work and I just don't have the time in a day once I start working to do this. So on a day off, I will plan out my whole day, what I want to get done, my to-do list, things like that. The second is they have boundaries, which is a couple of videos next. 3 is they categorize their time. So they break down the things they need to get done into categories like family, work, health, into categories that make sense for them. The 4th is they batch items together. When we're talking about that, it's like items. So I think the article uses the example of checking your email while also responding to social media. A personal one of me is the mornings I have sessions, I walk my dog, listen to a mindfulness, and that does tons of things for me, right? It gives my dogs exercise so she won't stress me out during my sessions. It gives me exercise. It gets me outside, gets me in the sun. I usually listen to either a mindfulness, a meditation, or affirmations, which fits that in. And I've gotten some exercise. So that is one of the things how I'll bundle things together, or batch items together, they called it. The fifth, a very powerful one, is like they approach their schedule like they control their calendar. So, and you do. So this is your time. Schedule in what means something to you. So you should be at the top of that list. Your self-care, the things you need to maintain your energy for the next priorities along your list. It's you, and then what's next? How are you going to maintain that in the week? They say no, which can be really hard for us, right? Nobody wants to be thought of as difficult or a bitch or cause rifts, right? It's part of that good girl thing. So we will talk about that in our boundaries session, and also I'll cover it in the video on how to say no. 7, they narrow their focus to their priorities. So they've tackled the hard stuff first, is a habit of high functioning women. And if you think about it, like, if we have something daunting, it is sucking our energy. We're thinking about it. So as soon as you get that out of the way, that weight is gone. 8, focus sprints. I love this one. I use it when I'm cleaning. So I hate doing the dishes. So I'll set a timer. I'm going to do the dishes for 15 minutes, and then I'll do that again later. And honestly, it helps a ton. Sometimes I'll just finish it because I get on a roll. Other times I've like really set myself up for the next time I come at it. I've just like organized it that it's super easy. So, but you can do that with anything. Just set yourself a timer that you are willing to commit that energy to and do it. Then, sorry, I'm saying a lot. 9, they free time for what's important. So they schedule in their free time. Highly functioning women prioritize the things that they find important: family, fun, self-care. You're getting the picture. 10, work at their best time. So this is a great one to think about. Like, I do my best. My brain is the sharpest in the morning, early afternoon. My husband's is probably evening time. So when do you work the best? Are you doing your hardest tasks then? Is that when, how are you using that energy? So things to consider. 11 is have a morning ritual, which you already have one, but take a look at it. Like, is it serving you? On the days where you have harder stuff to do, are you adjusting that ritual? Are you checking in with yourself, seeing how much energy you have for the day? Are you doing some kind of activity that sets your intention for you to approach the day the way you want? So things to consider. 12, they limit their priorities. So to focus on what's most important. So each day they're focusing on highly functioning women 1 to 2 tasks instead of trying to take on like their whole to-do list every day. It's 1 to 2 things each day. And then the last is they conduct weekly reviews. So they look at what's working, and make adjustments. If it's working. If it's not, then they make tweaks, try something new. So those are the 13 habits of high functioning women. So consider if any of those things would be useful in your life and your time. And we will talk about it. I love that. There's also, on that 13 habits for high functioning women, there is a template for like a 90-day planner for free if you want to try that and give it a shot, because it really does emphasize like blocking out your time. So the next video, we'll talk about the ADHD hacks and some of the keys to time management. Oops.